I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing.
How's Elon handling this whole? He probably like, what the?
Yeah, he was definitely, and he was happy that the ADL of all people defended him. Well, you picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum because he's gonna hunt you down. He's gonna find out what's going on, and that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really.
Elon Musk has emerged victorious in the $80 million defamation lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg. The controversy began when Whoopi unleashed a fiery tirade on live television, claiming Musk was responsible for spreading false information and even accused him of undermining democracy. Musk didn't take the accusations lightly. Outraged by the remarks, he took legal action to defend his reputation. Things escalated when Joe Rogan joined the conversation, tearing apart Whoopi's claims and adding more fuel to the debate. If there's one person who never hesitates to call out nonsense, it's Joe Rogan. So when he caught wind of what Whoopi and The View were saying, he didn't hold back. On his podcast, he completely ripped into them, exposing their hypocrisy and setting the record straight.
And you're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is... And Joe Rogan believes in dragons!
Sure, I think she came into it with an agenda.
Of course.
You know.
They do everything with an agenda. You're not really making the world a better place.
Right.
You're just allowing these financial institutions to enact control over corporations. And it's a really shifty, weird way they're doing it by making it seem like they're trying to make the world a better, more equal place.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back as he dug up old clips of Whoopi, exposing just how inconsistent she and The View have been over time. He played footage of Whoopi once praising Donald Trump's business skills, only to later label him the worst president in history. Rogan also called out The View's habit of flip-flopping on issues whenever it suits them. When it's someone they oppose, every conspiracy theory suddenly becomes fair game.
This is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double-checked by ABC News, and then making the stupid statement.
But the moment they're confronted with their own misinformation, they quickly switch to playing the victim. Joe Rogan's sharpest criticism wasn't just for The View, it was for mainstream media as a whole. He argued that the show isn't about facts. It thrives on drama, outrage, and manufactured viral moments designed to keep viewers hooked.
Humanity is taken from him. His manhood is literally getting ground up. And she thought it was funny. But I get people think things are funny because they don't think about the person they're making fun of. You and I are both guilty of doing that.
Of course. Some crazy misogynist engineered The View because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View.
You'd think a show called The View would at least try to see things clearly, right? Well, not this time. Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts went all in on Elon Musk, portraying him as a dangerous figure who is fueling hate speech on Twitter. Whoopi even accused Musk of deliberately amplifying extremists by reinstating banned accounts, claiming he was undoing years of progress. But they didn't stop there. The panel also scrutinized Musk's political connections, particularly his ties to Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. He was using his companies to shape public opinion on a much larger scale. She hinted that his powerful allies were working behind the scenes to control how information spreads. The problem? There was no concrete evidence for any of these claims. Their entire discussion relied on speculation, cherry-picked Twitter posts, and personal bias. It didn't take long before critics called them out for pushing misinformation. Many were quick to point out that The View has a long history of pushing unverified claims while conveniently hiding it behind the excuse of being an opinion-based talk show. But this time, their words didn't just spark online debates, they set off a full-blown legal battle. Instead of simply firing back on Twitter, Musk took things to the courtroom. He filed an $80 million defamation lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg and ABC, arguing that the show's false claims had damaged both his reputation and his businesses. Musk's legal team made it clear. The View wasn't just offering opinions, they were spreading misleading narratives that portrayed Musk as a dangerous figure. In reality, he was simply pushing for free speech and an open social media landscape. At the core of Musk's case was a bigger issue: media accountability. His lawyer stressed that high-profile shows like The View have a duty to be truthful. By allowing its hosts to make false statements unchecked, ABC was complicit in spreading misinformation. Musk supporters are rallying behind him, arguing that it's about time someone held mainstream media accountable for spreading false narratives. One person commented, "Elon is totally justified." Another added, "Goldberg's biggest problem is her mouth. Hopefully, it will cost her and The View." But if you thought Whoopi would take this lawsuit seriously, think again, because her response was nothing short of laughable. Things took a bizarre turn when Whoopi actually tried to claim that she wasn't talking about Musk at all. She was talking about her cat. Yes, you read that right. As the backlash over The View's comments exploded online, Whoopi attempted to backtrack in the most ridiculous way possible. In a later episode, she insisted that her statements had been taken out of context, and that when she mentioned something dangerous, she wasn't referring to Musk. She was talking about tripping over her cat. This excuse made absolutely no sense. The original clip clearly showed Whoopi and her co-host discussing Musk, J.D. Vance, and their so-called harmful influence. There was no mention of pets, no playful tone, just a full-on attack on Musk's character. Trying to spin it into a cat-related misunderstanding wasn't just dishonest, it was an insult to viewers' intelligence. Naturally, the internet wasted no time roasting her explanation. Social media exploded with memes mocking her excuse. Some users even edited clips of Whoopi's original rant, replacing every mention of Musk with her cat just to highlight how absurd her claim was. Others joked that Whoopi must have been seeing cat conspiracies to think anyone would buy her story. But the more people laughed, the angrier Whoopi got. She lashed out, accusing Musk and Joe Rogan of twisting her words and defending The View as a space for open discussion. However, instead of putting the controversy to rest, her response only made things worse. The more she tried to justify herself, the more people called her out for avoiding accountability. At this point, this isn't just about Whoopi Goldberg or Elon Musk. The View has been no stranger to controversy over the years. The show has repeatedly come under fire for spreading misinformation, pushing biased narratives, and making questionable statements. From Joy Behar's past missteps to Meghan McCain's dramatic exit, The View has a history of making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And now, with Musk winning his lawsuit, the big question is, has The View finally crossed the line? Whoopi's latest blunder is just the latest example. The show has faced backlash in the past for its takes on politics, race, and social issues, with critics accusing the co-hosts of using their platform to push personal agendas rather than engaging in fair discussions. Many believe The View has strayed from open debate and now prioritizes pushing a specific narrative while shutting down opposing voices. Now, calls for Whoopi's removal are growing louder. While some viewers continue to support her, others argue that her credibility has taken a major hit. Even longtime fans of the show are questioning whether it can continue without major changes. And speaking of consequences, after all, with a legal battle and public trust in The View on the line, keeping Whoopi on board might be more trouble than it's worth. So, what do you think? Should Whoopi be removed from the show for her alleged comments? Drop your thoughts in the comments and follow this channel for more updates.